Good morning, everybody. Silas back again. It's another beautiful day out here, enjoying it while it lasts. I'm back out here at the farm. Got a little bit left to do out here. Got a bunch of stuff to haul home, but my truck is still not fixed. I'm not sure when it'll get fixed. It's been a nightmare getting parts for that thing. But as soon as it's done, I'll be able to bring my trailer back out here and I'll start hauling this stuff home. I got odds and ends stuff out here yet. I've got that tub and that wagon there that need to go home. There's a few pieces of furniture inside the building I'm going to take home. And then I've got that truck over there. And then I've got a few pieces over here beside my truck and that little tank. I want to take all that home. So I'm thinking probably 3 loads will get it all home. There's a few pieces out back yet too, but not much. But definitely 3 loads will get it all home. So I'll probably have to do all that next week. I'm not going to get it done today for sure, especially without a trailer. I could probably find somebody, but today's priority is finishing up everything that's on the ground out here. There's a few odds and ends laying around on the ground yet. Like there's a little bit there. There's a couple pieces there. There's a piece back in the trees. And there's a few pieces over here beside that tree, a piece over there by that building, just odds and ends stuff scattered around because the weather for tomorrow is going to be absolutely horrible. Today is December 31st. It is the last day of the year and it is nice out. It's like 45 degrees right now and it's supposed to get up to 60 today. It's been a very warm December, but January is going to turn things around on us. They're saying a high of like 12 degrees tomorrow. It's supposed to be negative 20 wind chills. They're saying up to 2 inches of raining ice and then up to 6 inches of snow on top of that. It's looking like it's going to be some pretty rough weather coming in. And so anything that's on the ground out here, I want to get it picked up. That way I don't have to hunt for it in the snow next week because it's not supposed to get warm next week at all. I think they said Tuesday is supposed to get up to 40, but then after that, it's right back down to the teens and zeros again. Yeah, there's something down there in the weeds there. See, this sort of stuff out here that's sitting out on the ground, which we got most of it done already. Jason and I got most of this place cleaned up. He's not able to come help me today, so it's just me. But we had all that iron back here. We got it all out. But anything that is still in the ground, I need to get it today because once it starts freezing and getting that cold, not only will it be covered under the snow, but even if the snow melts off a little bit, the ground will be frozen. And getting this stuff out of the ground when it's frozen is a challenge. If you go back to some of my really old vlogs, some of the first ones I ever did, I was doing a farm cleanup early in the year and everything was frozen in the ground and I had to pry on it and yank on it and you name it, trying to get that stuff out of the ground. And it is a nightmare to get that stuff out. Even with heavy equipment, sometimes the stuff just will not cooperate. I had a car one time, I literally could not get the axles out of the mud. It had been muddy, set the car down, and then it froze for like a week. And I tried ripping the car out and I finally ripped the body off the frame and the frame stayed in the mud and I had to leave it there until it thawed out. So my goal for today is to get everything gathered up that I'm going to take home up front, everything that's junk, get it gathered up and put it in the dumpster. There is one more building we have to clean out, actually 2, counting this one over here, but there's one more, but it's just little stuff on shelves and it's inside. The roof doesn't leak, so I can do that even if it's freezing cold and frozen. But I do want to come in this building here and get all this stuff out of here. This stuff's in the ground a little bit. I think it would be okay to get it out even if it does freeze, but I'd just assume get it all done today anyway. There's not a whole lot in here. There's this old piece of equipment, this old single roller track. It's kind of a unique piece. I'll probably hang on to that. Iron wheel, just odds and ends scrap mainly. Some of these pieces like that one over there, what I'll have to do there is hook a chain on that and just drive and yank it out of this building and see what happens. And there's one old sickle mower back here. I'm going to save that for very last because when I yank that out, this whole building is probably going to collapse. As I was walking up to get the skid steer, I noticed there's a pile of just miscellaneous scrap in this area right here as well. So I may not be able to get that piece out, but we'll get this other stuff gathered up and I'll run it up there and throw it in the dumpster. I managed to get it all in 2 scoops. Stacked it up in a pile and grabbed it with the claw. I love having this claw, it's super handy. I just now noticed at this cleanup we finally got over 100 hours on this machine now. This tub here, I put a bunch of other tubs inside it full of small stuff, and all those other tubs will hold water, and I don't want it to get rained on, so I'm just going to try to shove it back in the building where I can get it back out. It would be easier if I had forks on, but neither of these pieces have forks on it. The loader I haven't started today, so I'd have to start it and let it run for 30 minutes just to put this in there. And then the skid steer takes about 10 minutes to switch over to the forks because all this hydraulic stuff you have to disconnect. Perfect. Slid right in there. I'll be able to park the skid steer in here tonight as well. That way it doesn't fill up because I don't have glass on the sides and obviously no door on the front. So if I leave this sitting outside Monday, I'll have a nice uncomfortable seat to sit in. I got the first piece out. This has some pretty cool iron wheels on the back of it. I don't have a way of pulling them off though. I don't have a torch or nothing with me. That's in my other truck. Sean's been out of town this whole week, so I may just end up throwing this thing in the iron box. We'll see. If I have room to bring it home, I'll just take it home and cut it apart later. Otherwise, it's just gonna have to go onto the shredder. Building dropped in pretty good when I got that last piece out. That's what was holding the roof up on that side. This barrel here has a ton of pressure on it from that post right there, so I'm pretty sure this cart is what's holding that pillar up. So I can't get it out of here. I'll hook a chain on it later, see what happens, but next thing up, I'm gonna drag this sickle mower out of here. There's nothing resting on top of it, but I'm gonna have to drag it through all these wood boards here, and so I don't know what's gonna happen to the building. But I'll set up my camera, I'll hook a chain up to it, and we'll drag it out of here. Got it out of there. Tore the building up a little bit. Kind of bulged the wall out a little bit more on this side. But I'll come in here now with the skid steer, grab a hold of this and kind of twist it to where this blade will tip down. And I can grab it right out and take it out there and throw it in the iron box. And then I'll come back in here and let's see, I'll probably just wrap a chain around that wheel and see if that thing will drag out of there and see what happens with the building. You know, I was really expecting this building to fall in when I drug this stuff out of here, but it's still holding up pretty good. But I bet you one more windstorm, now that it doesn't have any support, and it'll go ahead and collapse. Because I believe the only post that's still actually in the ground that isn't rotted off is this corner post over here. All these other posts are rotted off at the base. And so the only thing really holding it is these 2x6s now, nailed together. It did have this farm equipment helping support it, but now without that, it's just gonna collapse. But that's the last of the junk in here. I wanna put this on the skid steer. I wanna keep that iron wheel on that track. And I've got that tub with those neat thingamajiggers in it. I'll load all that up, carry it up front, and then I am done out back. Completely done. All that's left out here now is to gather up the stuff I'm taking home and to clean out that building. So I'll probably drive the truck around next and gather up all the bicycles and a few other little things like that. There's these two old scales in here. They almost got saved, but I came in here and looked at them again. I might try to save these really cool wheels off of this one. They got kind of a spiral look to them, but I don't know. I might hang on to that one there just for those wheels. But this one here's just got regular wheels on it. I guess they spiral too. I don't know. I'll drag them out and look at them. If they look like they're going to come off easy, I'll save them for the wheels. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and pitch the whole things in the scrap. They didn't make it. Some survive, most don't. A couple of the wheels don't turn, and I don't feel like messing with them. With that cold weather coming in, I know I'm not going to feel like messing with them then. So I ain't got time to do it today, so away they go. The one good thing about not having a truck right now is I'm saving a whole lot less stuff. Like I was going to save this roller piece here. Those are really handy. Some people like them. They're easy for moving stuff back and forth across the room, heavy objects or whatever. But man, I don't feel like taking it home. So without a truck to pull my trailer, I got to load everything up in the back of my little pickup. And so big stuff like this just gets the veto. Away it goes. Man, I just can't get over how beautiful it is out here right now. This is like spring weather. The birds are all out. They're all over the place, foraging through the leaves and through the trees. The squirrels, the crows, all the animals are out. Saw a bunch of deer a minute ago. It's crazy, and to think that here in probably about another 12 hours, it's going to be at least 50 degrees colder than it is right now and blowing ice. Here's the B&B dragster in all its glory. It's rusty glory. I don't know nothing about these. DR3. Kind of interesting. Made in Holton, Kansas. I'd never even heard of these before. I did some research online. I found a few of them for sale that were still complete, and I think this one's actually complete, just in a million pieces. But they're still in better condition than this. Kind of see what they look like, and they're real low to the ground. Really interesting machines, but I don't know if there's any value to this one or not. I figure I'll take it home, try to sell it, try to put it back together, and if nobody's interested, then I'll just go ahead and scrap it later. I found out a little bit more about this bike here. This is a Japanese bicycle. I didn't think that was Japanese riding, but I mean, obviously I'm an idiot, don't know what I'm talking about, because it is. This would have been made post-war in the 1950s in Japan, and I guess I kind of had like a little mini bike boom, kind of like the States did in the 70s, where everybody was making bicycles. And so this specific bicycle is just one of a million bikes that was made back then. Everybody was looking for cheap transportation, obviously. Money was tight. Things were just starting to recover from the war. And this would have actually been an adult bicycle. We look at it now and we're like, that's a kid's bike. And that's probably what it was used for here in the United States. But this is actually an adult bicycle. They were all pretty much the same, just had a different name on them. But other than that, they were all virtually identical. How in the world it got to the middle of nowhere in Kansas, I have no clue how this got here. I found it in this old dilapidated building. They said it's been there longer than they can remember. So who knows where it came from, how it got there, how it made it to the United States, how it made it to Kansas. If I had to guess, I would say there was a service member probably stationed over somewhere around Japan or in Japan. And he was like, that's cool, I'm going to take that home with me. And so he paid the import duties to bring it home and shipped it home. So that's what I'm going to guess. But really, I have no clue. It could have been somebody from Japan moved to the United States at some point and wanted to bring a bicycle with him. I really don't know. All right, I made it back out here to my place. I didn't grab a whole lot off the farm. I was kind of in a hurry to get back. I've got a few things I want to cover up so they don't get rained on. And then I believe I left the door on one of my storage buildings open over there, so I need to make sure I get that closed. And if I have a moment, I might get my trailer unloaded. I don't know. I'm kind of running out of time now. So that's probably going to be all for today. I didn't really record a whole lot though, so I'll probably just go ahead and combine Monday with today together and make that into one vlog. So I will see you guys in a few days when it is much colder and maybe some snow on the ground. We'll find out, I guess. And I'm back at it again. Today is Monday. It's a whole lot colder than it was last time, and it's a little bit snowier. We did not get nearly as bad of a storm as what they were saying. It did get bitter cold, but I think we only got 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow, and we didn't get any of the freezing rain. So we really lucked out on that. So it's really not going to hinder working too much. It's supposed to get up to, I think, 45 degrees a day, so most of the snow will be gone by the end of the day. I just ran out here real quick. I'm going to unload my truck, get these bicycles and this three-wheeler out of here. I sold the three-wheeler. A friend of mine wants it, so I'm going to set it aside for him. And I got these two old bicycles, the Japanese bike and the Schwinn. I'll stash those somewhere, and then there's just a few other odds and ends in here. I'll get it all out of here, Then I'm gonna head back out to the farm and hopefully the loader will start. It's pretty cold out this morning still. I think it's about 10 degrees. So hopefully it'll start. If it won't start, then I parked it right in front of the building so I can go ahead and start working anyway. But hopefully today we'll get all the scrap done and we can start hauling some of the stuff home. One of my favorite things about the snow is getting to see what sort of critters are running around. Can't quite tell what this is. I don't know if that was a cat or what it was, but something small. And then it looks like either a dog or a coyote was running through here. Bunch of rabbit tracks. I don't see any deer tracks. That's kind of unusual. There's some more dog or coyote tracks. Probably coyote. That would be my guess. Yeah, I don't see any deer tracks. That's really unusual. Roads aren't too bad out here. There was a couple slick spots on the blacktops, but the good thing about out here is there's never any traffic. So you can just drive right down the middle of the road. I'm pretty sure they didn't get as much snow as we did back home. They still got a little bit, but it doesn't look as bad as it did back there. Well, I made it out here, and I forgot my tripod out here when I left last week. I had it laying over there by that truck. So it got a little bit snowy and frozen, but it still works. It's just a cheapo Amazon tripod anyway, but I actually really like it. It's really lightweight. It works well. I think it was, I don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't much. And then I have a little Ulanzi piece at the top that I use to clamp my phone. I've had that for a long time now, and that works really well, actually. If you're looking for a good, cheap tripod and phone holder, I'll put a link in the description. You can check them out. They don't pay me to talk about these or nothing like that. I just really like the product. And this is the last building. All sorts of interesting stuff in here. We'll save all the stuff like these old coffee cans, these old ice cube makers. Those are pretty cool. All these bearings up here, there's a bunch there, some up there, and there's some more in here somewhere. And there's some old files in here and that sort of stuff. My blacksmith guy that I know that makes knives, I'll give all those to him. There's a bunch of old lights in here, more cans, just interesting stuff. All sorts of interesting things hanging from the ceiling. We're just going to kind of go through all this. All sorts of stuff in here. Most of it's just going to be scrap, but anything cool we find we'll set aside. Found a little bit of copper and brass in here yet. When we first came in here, this was just solid buckets of copper and brass here on the floor, and it was starting to get dark, so we just grabbed what we could and left, but we missed a whole bunch of it. I was worried about somebody seeing activity out here and stealing it. Got this old refrigerator, bunch of batteries, maybe some of those old pulleys. That old mailbox hanging up there, that's kind of neat. Just odds and ends. I'm not going to save these drawers, but I'm going to save these drawer pulls off of here. Those are neat. And then also, these here, I'm not sure exactly what they are. I know they're off of some piece of farm equipment. I've seen them before, but I've had these before that were already off. If you can sell these online, people take them, they take them like this, and they drill holes in them, and they mount them on old cabinets and stuff like that. So then you kind of, in a way, have drawer pulls. That way you have a rustic look to it. They sell really good for that, so I'll save all those. That's a metal can. I guess we'll save that. Just odds and ends trinkets, but I'm going to set the camera up, put it on time lapse, and you guys will see me cleaning this thing out. My help should be here pretty soon, and we should be able to knock this out within an hour to 2 hours. back here digging in this cubby hole of rat's nest. Found a couple old coffee cans full of nails, and I found one coffee can clear full of old spark plugs. There's some very, very cool spark plugs in here. Like this old National with the primer on it. Here's an old split Dorf. There's a cool one there. Cobalt blue. There's some other neat ones. Oh, here's one. Got the old horseshoe on it. Where's the other one? Here it is. Yeah, here's an old Edison. Here's a neat one here I had never even heard of. It's a King B. Yeah, there's bunches of old Champion Fords and Champion Toledos. You name it. All sorts of cool stuff in here. Yeah, there's a Champion Ford. See, there's quite a few cool old spark plugs in this can here. Working our way back here. About got it cleaned out. This is all keeper stuff here and up there. Got this cubby out. Got the walls or the ceiling all cleaned off. Got all this cleaned up back here. We'll probably hang on this old fridge. Working on cleaning out the old cabinet, or digging out the cabinet now. I'm not sure what's in it. We'll be in it here in just a minute. There we go. We're in here now. This is the cabinet that I found that old wings can in. There was a wings can back here beside this blender. That's about the only thing I could see in here, so not sure what else is in here. There's a cast iron piece of some sort. So we'll see as we go what else we can find in here. And we are done. This is all just keeper stuff up here. Bunch of neat old wrenches and odds and end gears and tools and all the spark plugs and whatever this thing is. I don't even know what that is. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments. I forget what all's in here. Oh, just miscellaneous cool stuff. Bunch of old wooden furniture rope wheels and stuff like that. Bunch of just miscellaneous cans and interesting things in there. That tub's nothing but copper. There's some more brass down there. And we got this old refrigerator. Now we're gonna get a pry bar and bust this thing off the wall. They're cool, they're neat, but they don't have any real value. It's worth more for scrap than it is for anything else. Plus, when you figure in the fact that I'd have to lug that all the way home and then try to find someone to buy it for a little or nothing, it's just not worth the effort. So we'll just snap it off the wall, throw it in the iron box. Then after that, I believe we are done with all the scrap, other than there's a few barrels out back I gotta crush down and a few other things over there by the dumpster. But after that, we're done. Just gotta load up all the keeper stuff and that'll be it. There we go. Peel it off the wall. There we go. There we go. Boom. Well, we were out back and we found a little bit more scrap that goes. It's all big stuff though. It'll all have to go in with the skid steer. So it looks like we're gonna have to have one more dumpster, because this dumpster here is gonna be full here in just a minute. Pulling a couple little pieces off of these things here. I don't think they're gonna fit in this box though, because I got that manure spreader in that frame. I think we're gonna fill this thing up. I got them in there. It's pretty full now. I'll let him know that's full. He can come get it. I could probably pack a couple other little things in there, but I've still got this piece and that piece. There's a front axle and a transfer case over there in that building yet. I've got those 3 fuel tanks on stands back there, and there's a little bit of pipe back over on the other side of this building. And there was something else around here I saw somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I'll have to find it. Oh, that was over here beside the barn. There was a couple tanks. And so there won't be a whole lot of weight in the last dumpster. But as long as it's enough to pay for getting the dumpster hauled, I'm sure they'll be happy just to have those big fuel tanks gone so they don't have to worry about them. Sean's here one more time. He brought his trailer with him. We're gonna load those really cool red sideboards up on him. And then he's gonna pull over here and we're gonna take some of that furniture out of this building here. Then we'll load some stuff up in my truck and head back to the shop with it. What we have in here is the old sign. Got the 2 old wooden file cabinets. I got this little pile of stuff here. That little hexagon base I thought was pretty neat. Whatever those deals there are. Box of silverware. Just a few odds and ends here. There's a few old stove pieces over there. Then I've got this little dresser here with no mirror on it. That one didn't get burnt. I've got this chicken incubator. And I believe that's about it. Oh, the old Art Deco couch. We're gonna go ahead and save it. And then I'm gonna look at these other ones that are burnt. These aren't really good for anything but to go ahead and throw in the burn pile and finish burning. But they do have some neat hardware on the front of them, so I may pull some of that off. And then the old sewing machines and that old desk over there stay. Got some stuff loaded up in my truck. Old brass nozzle. Here's a whole bunch of really cool hardware off some of that burnt furniture. The furniture was no good for anything, but this old brass hardware saved all that. Here's some old deals there. That cabinet there, if a guy takes and cuts it somewhere right in there, that'll shorten it up a little bit and get rid of all that rotted wood. And then that's a cool old cabinet. Just other odds and ends, cool stuff. And then Sean's trailer is full of furniture. I'll walk over there here in a minute. And here's everything on this one. Got the old 1920s couch, the old refrigerator, some old mason jars, bicycles. You've pretty much seen all this stuff. This old sign says color time. It's just a plastic sign, nothing real cool, but I figured it's an old sign, might as well save it. Just odds and ends trinkets. Thought we'd save it from the burn pit or the scrap pile. The snow's pretty well all gone now. Just a little bit left here and there. For sure by tomorrow it'll all be gone. It's supposed to get up around 50 again tomorrow, and then it's supposed to drop way back down again. But we should be able to get quite a bit done more tomorrow. Be just about done with this place. And we are done. Got it all unloaded. Just kind of cleaned the area out back over here. Stashed it all in here. It's all pretty accessible still, so I can get in here and try to advertise it and get it all sold. But for now, the main thing was just get this job done so I can get the equipment back. Some of the stuff I'm just going to run to the auction. This here is just full of old random tools. I'll probably never need any of them. And just, oh, there's some mason jars in there. Stuff I don't need, but maybe at the auction it'll bring a few bucks. And some of it I'll advertise and try to sell, like the old fridge, bicycles, that sort of stuff. This cabinet here, we're gonna have to do a little bit of repair work to it, and that'll probably go down to Texas. That'll sell better down there. The sign's already sold, like I said. Didn't get much out of it, but it's just plastic, and so I would have had to leave it behind if nobody wanted it. But yeah, and then like I was doing in a previous vlog, I got to finish all this in here. I want to get everything in this room gone and that big pile of stuff back there gone and get my mower gone. That way I can fill this whole area in with pallets and advertise and put car parts on those, and they can advertise it for the auction and that sort of stuff. But that's a deal for another day. I'm not going to worry about that today. It'll be just me now out there at the farm cleanup. Sean left his trailer. He's going to go out of town for a few days, and he said I could use his trailer, so that was pretty cool. Since my truck's still down, he's got a small trailer, or it's a regular car trailer, but it's way smaller than my trailer that I usually pull. So I can actually pull it with my half-ton truck. So I'm just gonna run out there and stack stuff on it. I don't have anything heavy to haul home anyway, and I'm just gonna run back and forth all day, but that'll be a separate vlog for tomorrow. If you guys enjoy this one, please leave me a thumbs up. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and remember to get out there and find an adventure. We'll see you next time.